Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today playing a game of Ahri, still doing our road to rank 1 here. This is my second game on this account. So I guess, yeah, actually the lobby, I think this was like a diamond-ish elo lobby. So, and we'll see how it goes. I did blind pick Ahri and I'm up against Sylas. I have gone for the strong early game runes. A lot of the time on Ahri at the moment, you play sorcery and precision. I think even though Ahri is kind of not a huge, dude, I'm fucking reading chat. Even though Ahri is not, I would say, as good as Electrocute, it allows you access to the sorcery page, which is better overall. And, you know, if you go Electrocute sorcery, then you have to give up the precision page. So I think that even though I prefer Electrocute on Ahri, I like this just to have the better runes overall. So, oh. I was just trying to cover to see if he wards over one. The only annoying thing about doing this is a lot of the time, like, you'll defend this and then you'll get E'd by Sylas over the wall. So that was actually the best case scenario that we managed to defend that. And, okay, so he started Q, which is kind of weird. Sometimes they do this Q start and it can kind of catch you off guard like it did there, but the thing with that is if they use it for Harass, then it's going to be much more difficult for them to get the CS, and they lose a lot of the pressure that they have early. So in my mind, Q start is, well, I don't like it that much. I think it's better to go for something else. Now, the one thing we have to be careful of is obviously with D shield, he can sustain a lot of our pokes, so we can't, you know, we can't chase him too far in the creep wave because it will take more damage than it's worth, but we should be able to do a pretty good job of just trying to, you saw there I was in position to harass him when he came for that creep, like make sure that if he does come up for the CS that you have, oh my god, I'm gonna miss both, that you do have a way to like punish. So you can see basically just like making sure that we use some sort of ability to harass or zone, or, you know, even with just cell positioning every time he comes up. Now, one thing you have to be really careful is that Sylas has really, really good gank setup, so, and also he snowballs insanely hard. So like from a jungler's perspective, you really, really want to gank for Sylas. So we really want to get this wave on a turret and probably drop a ward. The other thing is that ideally we harass Sylas on the turret. So I'm kind of going to take a risk here. Ideally you would have placed the ward by now, and that, in fact, actually what I'm going to do, no, I can't. So the thing is, I want to drop a ward for safety, but I kind of waited too long. If I go for a ward now, it's going to mean that I give him this wave for free, right? I'm going to let him get away with this. So this, again, is risky. There's a chance Kha'Zix could be here. I'm kind of banking on the fact that, like, well, I don't think he will be, and that Sylas is pretty low, but I really do need to get a ward here. So I'll probably just quickly come and ward this side that Graves is on. So I'm just going to kill these two creeps, and then I'm going to come ward. So yeah, I definitely took a pretty big risk there, but it has paid off, and I managed to get lots of harass down. Now, at this point, we can either continue to push this wave on a turret and keep harassing. Alternatively, if we're scared, we can let the wave come out. So basically, at this point, like, most melees are really good at, like, chasing you down the lane and punishing you. If Sylas was very healthy here, I would probably just freeze this wave and, you know, be safe. But because we're so strong and because Sylas doesn't really have any threat to me, because we're so far ahead, we can just continue pushing and, like, yeah, keep making life really difficult for him, basically. Might actually be able to go for a kill here if I space this out long enough. Okay, I don't think I could have killed him there, but I mean, we'll take the flash anyway. Yeah, I definitely think he was a bit too passive. So if you're wondering, I guess, like, what are Sylas's big mistakes so far? I mean, mainly, I think not starting E is a mistake. I think he also has, like, very greedy runes. Like, I think that even though the Conqueror page on Sylas definitely, like, scales better, I think that the amount of pressure you can put down in the early game from having, like, an Electrocute page where you can just, like, E forward with sudden impact and get lots of good trades. Yeah, like the thing is, I think if you go this page, right, like, obviously the scaling is good, but if you give up so much scaling in order to have, or sorry, if you give up so much early game in order to have better scaling, you don't actually scale that well, right? Like, yeah, he scales better than he would otherwise, but the fact that he's, you know, down, like, a significant amount of CS, obviously, like, isn't very good. So, oh my god, just barely got that. Anyway, we're pretty happy because I think Sylas is pretty good into Ahri. Definitely can, like, out-trade early, and obviously the ult is really good. That was pretty well played by him. Yeah, it was well done. So I take a lot of damage there, which is pretty bad. Like, you really shouldn't get hit by E2. Like, you've got your W to dodge it, so there's no real excuse for getting hit by one at max range like that. And that definitely does hurt a bit, you know, like losing half my health bar for free. It's not ideal. So what we'll do here is probably just... probably keep the wave in the middle. So because I'm a little threatened this time because I did take so much damage, it's not as comfortable to push on a turret and harass because he can easily chase us down. So instead, we'll just kind of keep the wave in the middle. And what this does is it gives us a bit of protection, both from him and from his gang setup. And also it potentially allows a little bit of gang setup from our jungler because he doesn't have flash. So yeah, we'll kind of leave it here. It's kind of nice that we're forcing him to use his abilities to see us as well, because that means obviously that he's not using them on us. So that's great. I have ult, which makes me feel a bit safer. I'll probably try drop this pink topside as this wave pushes, just to make sure that, you know, we do have some protection set up. Yeah, okay, so we know Kha'Zix is above us. Now that's interesting because that means we can kind of delay our ward if we want, just because we know that Kha'Zix is above anyway. And obviously the bot lane is pinned to turrets, so we don't really have any reason to actually place the wards just yet. Now, we probably do want to get prio here and look to go to grubs. Okay, I'm just gonna get a really good trade there. I don't want to ult this. Instead, I'm gonna pink, and then Kha'Zix could be in here. Let's just see. I'm just gonna come and get the plant, I think. Yeah, that'll be good. And then we can go back to punishing him really hard. I'll try and use this prior to set up a little bit of vision. Oh, Kha'Zix actually bot. Okay, so he ran all the way bot. That's fine. So Kha'Zix will... I could go and ward Raptors here, but because Kha'Zix will most likely trade Dragon, I'm just going to save my ward. So I'm just kind of like being greedy with my wards. Kind of like playing the odds of saying that like I really don't think Kha'Zix will, you know, gank this like really low Sylas that's like losing lane and like has no mana for setup or anything. So yeah, kind of threw a Q in outer space there, but it's fine. So at this point, we're just going to spam push Sylas into his turret. Yeah, we're going to make life very, very difficult for him. He doesn't really have the mana in order to keep up, and he's going to take a lot of damage every time he comes up. So yeah, it seems pretty good. It's possible Kha'Zix comes mid after Dragon, but again, like there's really nothing to be scared of. Like there's no... Yeah, I wouldn't say there's like any setup here. Just keep autoing this. I have my ward, which I can still place if I need to, but because we know Kha'Zix is bot side, I can probably greed it. Actually, he didn't do Dragon, did he? No, he didn't. Okay, so... maybe he reset? Okay, no, never mind. I don't have Charm, but should be fine. Okay, nice. Take those. So that was kind of a freebie. Yeah, we can take that. And we can also now use our red buff to punish this guy a little bit. Get some nice autos there. You can see as well, you know how I was saying before about how like Sylas has like the scaling page and not the laning page? That's like a big deal a lot of the time these days because like, again, like coming back to like the electrocute versus Ahri thing on Ahri, it's like, you know, I could have electrocute here and it would be better in skirmishes like that when I'm fighting the Kha'Zix, but if you have a look, it's like, well, I have 200 damage of Scorch and I have like 100 damage from cut down that I wouldn't have otherwise. I also have like probably a lot more procs and like total damage with Ahri than I would compared to electrocute. So like, yeah, you're giving up so much damage to take the better keystone. And again, like even if it's better like later on, like ultimately the early game is so important. This doesn't do anything, I don't think. Never mind, he's the goat. I'm an alien. Okay, I mean, that is actually quite annoying because now I kind of have to give up a wave, which sucks. Like, I think if I stay here, I'll probably die to Sylas, so I definitely trolled there. I probably, if I were going to flash, I should flash early, obviously, to avoid taking all the damage, but I don't think I should have had to flash if I used my charm like a human. But it's fine. I mean, I'm still really, really far ahead, so we're just going to deploy back on the map. How much damage is my Ahri done? I didn't actually look. Yeah, 400. That's quite a lot of extra laning, right? Because when we look at his runes, it's like, well, I would say Conqueror has done very little damage, because he's only had like a couple trades with it. And it's certainly less than what he would have done with like, you know, Electrocute and Sudden Impact and stuff. So yeah, runes are very important, is what I'm saying, especially early game runes. Okay, so I've got a lot of damage on that, and we're also very ahead of mid. And then we'll come toward the Raptors. That gives us a really strong side of vision to play to. Only thing to be careful of is I don't have ulti for 10 more seconds, and I don't have flash. So, like, be a tiny bit careful of that window. Like, if Sylas steals your ult while you don't have yours, you can definitely die. I'm trying to bait him here. I'm just going to try lean to Maokai. And this should be... He should have to take my ult in order to survive. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, that's super nice. Because now he loses so much pressure. He's not going to have ult for a long time. Kha'Zix just used the jump, so like potentially we could look for a kill. Ooh. Okay. I don't quite have enough damage to get this kill, but again, like he's pretty cooked. Like he's bleeding so much in every wave that he is eventually just going to be forced out of lane. Now, he does have D shield, second wind sustain, so He can kind of stay, but at the same time, like, he's no threat, right? Like, he's completely... Ooh, okay, let's try this. Ooh. Nice, okay, well played. Just give him a little... I have charm, could bait this. See, I'll start walking down, he's probably invis. Oh, I hit him. Right, and we got first turret top as well. Okay, nice. Well, I'm pretty sure this game is completely over. I mean, this is the most... Yeah, this is like super free. So, yeah, this is... I don't know. It's like... It's weird because this is my main account, right? But obviously my MMR on this account is very weird because I haven't played in it in 4 months since I left OCE. So the MMR is definitely not of like a challenger game or anything so far. So that's why like the level gap is so big. But it's kind of like interesting, I think, to see this. I'm not sure if by the time this video will be posted that you'll see any more of my like unranked to master games. But as you can see, like there's still a pretty big difference between, you know, like a challenger player or whatever and like a diamond player because, yeah, there's a... Well, you can see, right? And I don't think that Sylas played, like, horribly, to be honest. It's just, like, a lot of, like, little things adding up. You know, like, he, I think, has, like, probably the wrong runes and, like, the wrong item start. And then I think, like, he should probably start E instead of Q. And, you know, like, some of the trades are a bit weird, especially because, like, if you're playing, like, the Conqueror page, you really need to make sure that you're getting, like, super long trades and stuff like that, right? So, basically, I just think he hasn't, like, played well around his setup. But I don't think he's like a horrible player. So I do have TP to go bots. I don't have ulti here and I don't have flash. I need to be a tiny bit careful. But I think because I have so much vision topside, as long as I just hug to topside, like we should be fine. Yeah, getting really good damage. And I can just continue to push. Like I can probably even just take this turret 1v1, which will be insane. By the way, like this kind of gap here, obviously it's like really big. This is... Like, okay, when people say, like, mid is weak or whatever, like, obviously you can't do this every game, right? But, like, if there is a skill gap between, like, you and the enemy mid, it's definitely still possible to make it felt. And, like, there were... It didn't happen often, but, like, in Korea, I did have a few games like this where I played against, like, another mid laner that made me feel this way. You know, like, I didn't really have the feeling at all in EU that I played in, like, in any games I feel like I didn't belong in. But there were definitely games in Korea, like, where I played against, you know, world champion mids like Doinby and Rookie and shit, where it kind of felt like this, you know, like, maybe not this extreme, but it kind of just felt like, you know, the game is unplayable because the skill gap between mids is just too big. So, definitely don't, like, fool yourself into thinking that, like, mid lane doesn't have impact. It's just... It's hard, you know, like, it's a really hard lane, and it's... A lot of the time, it's hard to punish someone if they're of similar skill to you, right? I think, probably more so than the other lanes. Like, a lot of the time, the other lanes, even if you're similarly... I can't say that word. Similarly. That's close enough. Even if you are close in skill, there, we'll use that one. Even if you're close in skill, the other lanes, I think their matchups a lot of the time are, like, more volatile, or they're, like, more, like, predetermined. Whereas, like, mid lane, a lot of the counters are, like, soft counters. You know, like, even though Sylas is considered a counter to Ahri, it's, like, just the nature of mid lane being a lot of, like, skill shots as opposed to, like stat checks. A lot of the time, mid lane matchups are just skill matchups. Because there will always be the skill shot element. And I guess that's true of, like, all matchups in theory, right? Like, there will always be things you can abuse. But I think it's more so the case in mid. Now, I don't have ult here, but I think if I play this reasonably slow, should be fine. I'm going to try save charm to guarantee it. Yeah. So there, I could charm early, but I think just wait for Maokai's CC. I could look for an ult. Also, I keep doing this, by the way. You're meant to max E second on Ahri these days, but I actually always max W second because I just keep forgetting. But after the changes, I think E max second is better, or at least that most people max that. I don't think W max second is bad, though. Like, I don't think you're trolling, but I think it's probably, like, a little suboptimal. Okay, so we'll continue to shove mid. By the way, I probably will post some videos of, like, reviewing some of those Korean VODs, because... Yeah, it was pretty impressive, you know. I was talking to someone just before about, like, what do I think makes, like, those really high-level Korean players, like, better. And it's easy to say, like, all the small things, but there actually were some, like, really big things, too. I'm actually going to save my charm and try kill Jinx as well. Yeah, there we go. So there I was just kind of greeting to make sure I could kill them both. So get a blue. Then we'll just come shove mid. And what after this? let's go home and buy probably a Lich Bane. I mean, if you're this far ahead and you've got this much AP, then it makes sense just to go Lich Bane. One of the like hard things about buying Lich Bane is that like if it's if you base without a rod, it's got a really awkward build path. But if you can base for the rod, then it feels really good. It's just like, you know, if you go home and you buy like Aether-Wisp and then your next base you buy Sheen, that feels like really, really shit. But if you manage to base like this, feels really, really, really good. So yeah, that's great. Let's walk out to bot. I do have TP, so it's very easy to TP to the team fight if we need to. But it should be very easy for us just to go bot. Have ult in 20 seconds. Just watching the minimap at the moment, just in case there is a fight. Thing is, I don't have ult for 15. That actually is one thing, by the way. Like, if you are playing this page instead of the domination page, is you probably will feel the lack of ultimate hunter. That's probably the biggest weakness of this page, is just, like, there's a lot of fights in solo queue, and, like, Ahri without ult is kind of useless. So not having ult is really, really bad. It's crazy that this guy, like, can actually kind of win a trade against me, even though he's this far behind in gold. I was saying mid lane doesn't have stat check champs, but one of the ones that it does have is Sylas, I'd say. But like I said, he's got wrong runes and stuff. Okay, so we have Maokai protecting us, which means we should be safe. He might go on me here just because I used my Q. I'm down. Yeah, he should just go, I swear. I don't want to wait for him to use jump. Maybe I can go for Nami. Maybe I should have held it. I could have also charmed early, but it just didn't seem really worth the risk. Wow, okay, they all died. I was going to dash over and like try to get these kills, but they all died. Now, Sylas could cheese me here just because I used ult. Let's see if he does. He might be in this bush. If he's a real Chad, he's in this bush. Oh, never mind, he's mid. I thought maybe he tried cheese me. Like, I didn't have ulti, and he had mine, I think. Yeah, he has mine. Well, we'll get bot turret. The game is kind of over. At this point, I'm kind of just having fun. Yeah, I mean, it's not often that you get this fed this early, but really happy, obviously. Ahri's a really good blind pick. You know, a lot of people have been asking me, like, what champion should you blind? And a lot of the time when you're talking about blinds, it's generally just going to be, like, strong meta picks, but a more, you know, like, if you want something that is more, like, meta resistant, I suppose, like, Ahri is a really good option. Just because, like, pretty much always she's, like, at least decent in solo queue, and, like, she's traditionally, like, a good blind basically all the time. Whereas, you know, like, some champs like Syndra and Ori, they're, like, good blinds when they're overtuned, kind of like they are right now. But a lot of the time, like, they can be kind of mediocre, right? Like, just because they lack mobility, or, you know, like, maybe the meta matchups are bad for them or whatever. I'm sad I'm not going to get to 10 kills. I feel like 10-0 in the match history feels really, really good. I mean, maybe. There's still time. Oh my god, new Sylas combo just dropped. Can I get that one? Okay, wait. We can get 10-0. I'll go for the Nami. She's free pickings. Nice. One more. Oh, I can't finish her. That's fine. We got 10-0, which is good. And we got 25 sec med dice, so let's just end the game here. Yeah, I mean, not too much to say about this game. I think this one will probably put me in, what, like close to D3 maybe? I'm not quite sure how it works. Anyway, I'll give my entire team honors because they were goated. No complaints about any of these fellas. Yeah, I don't really need to talk about the... Okay, no, now I got into D4. Don't really need to talk about anything else in this game, I don't think. Mainly just, like, early game is really important, right? And a lot of the time, like, if you're unsure why you're not in higher elo or whatever, like, it's probably because your early game is, like, a little too weak. That means that, obviously, like, you get punished harder and that you can't punish other people harder. So it's always a good place to look at if you feel stuck, to try and improve your first 15 minutes, which could be, you know, warding, wave control, trading, skirmishing, you know, base timers, could be a bunch of things. So yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you have any questions, of course, please put them in the comment section below, or, you know, come to my stream as well, twitch.tv/shoklol. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.